You're listening to the Tax Bits podcast, where we provide bite-sized tax updates and news that impact you and your loved ones. As always, you can find show notes and resources for each episode at cartaxlaw.com. Now, here's your host, Jason Carr.
Hello once again, and thanks for tuning in for this month's tax podcast. As always, if you know others who might benefit from listening, let them know they can find the podcast on their platform of choice, including Apple and Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. So your mother and your accountant have most likely told you that you should hold on to your copies of your filed tax returns for a number of years. Anyway, sometimes it doesn't work out that way, especially when taxes and paperwork are concerned. And if I had a nickel for every client who lost a box of tax files while moving or filed a tax file that couldn't be located during an audit, well, I'd have a whole lot of nickels. Things go missing, and you need a plan B. When you're missing tax records, your plan B is what's called a tax transcript. So the IRS provides tax transcripts if you need a copy of an old return that you lost or didn't save. The IRS also has forms and information about your tax history, and guess what? It's free of charge. So here's what a tax transcript includes. It's going to be the same information that's on your tax return, but it's not organized in exactly the same format. You'll be able to find your filing status, income, and any deductions and credits you claimed. You should note that most of these personal information won't be on the transcript for security purposes. So what types of IRS transcripts are available? Well, our friends at the IRS have 5 flavors to choose from. So let's go over those now. First is the tax return transcript, and it's the most frequently requested form. This transcript shows most, but not all, of the line-by information from your return. Note that this is just from your original return, so if you filed an amended return, you won't see that information. Another type is a tax account transcript, and it's a more comprehensive transcript and has your adjusted gross income, or AGI, your total income in various taxable forms, and the dates and the amounts of payments you've made. The third type is the record of account transcript. It's what you want if you'd like to combine information from the 2 transcripts we just talked about, the tax return transcript and the tax account transcript. The fourth type is the wage and income transcript. This displays information concerning your income, including W-2, 1099, and IRA contributions. This is important, for instance, if you've lost some W-2s and you've had some unfiled tax years. A lot of times you can use the wage and income transcript to find the information that you need to file those missing tax returns. One thing to note about that, though, is you can only get a few years going back. So, for instance, if you have an unfiled year from 7 or 8 years back, you're not going to be able to get a wage and income transcript by calling the IRS. You're going to need to do what's called a FOIA request for that information. The last type is a verification of non-filing letter. And this is what you need if you just want to prove that you didn't have to file a tax return in a given year because you were under the income requirements. The easiest way to get your transcript is to go online and access the IRS Get Transcript website page. But first you'll need to register. Then you'll need your Social Security number, your date of birth, your filing status used on the most recent tax return, your mailing address used on your most recent tax return, your email address, an account number for your credit card, mortgage, auto loan, or personal loan that's in your name, and a cell phone account in your name. In addition, you must also tell the IRS why you need the transcript. But don't worry, this is just to get you to the right type of transcript you need. All 5 of the transcripts are available online. You can look at them on your computer or tablet and print or download them. You don't have to wait for delivery. So how cool is that? Your friendly IRS will confirm your identity first by both emailing and texting a verification code to the cell phone and the email that you gave. Now, if by chance you don't have a cell phone or a loan in your name, or you don't have any of the other information required for online access, you can request a transcript via the U.S. mail. You just need your Social Security number, the mailing address on your most recent tax return, and your date of birth. But there's a catch. You can only get a tax return and tax account transcripts for the current tax year and the 3 years before that. The IRS says it will take 5 to 10 calendar days for the transcript to get to you. That may have been true pre-pandemic. With the current delays in the IRS system, it's probably going to be a lot longer, but just so be aware of that. Now, if you're no longer living at the address you used on your last tax return, even if you arrange for the post office to forward your mail, that doesn't work with mail from the IRS. Instead, you'll have to first complete and submit Form 8822 with your change of address before you submit the Form 4506T, which is used to request a transcript via mail. In addition to completing these 2 forms, it does take about 6 weeks to process a taxpayer's change of address. So you're going to have to add that additional time, plus any delays from the pandemic, onto the time it's going to take to get the transcripts. So that's all I have for this month. I know this is a short episode, but this is just a question that comes up frequently in my practice, so I thought I would have an episode to cover it. Most of my clients, they just want to pay me to handle the transcripts because I'm able to do it much faster. I can typically get them within a day. But anyway, if this is something you want to do, hopefully this episode will help you with that. So that's it. Until next time, take care, everyone. Thanks.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, please tell your friends and colleagues to visit cartaxlaw.com. cartaxlaw.com. Thanks for listening, and be sure to tune in next time for another edition of the Tax Bits podcast.